Hey guys, what's up? This is Workshop Zero. I'm Devin Gentry, aka Bob the Hot Dog, your vice president. Uh, this is a sim. He is going to be going over real quick how to download and install SolidWorks, and then I'm going to be giving you a quick introduction to what I would consider Workshop Zero. Cool. Okay, that
That
sounds like.
sounds good.
Sup guys? I'm Devin Gentry, the vice president, and this is a sim. Say hi, sim.
What's up, guys? I'm a Sim Siddiqui. I'm an officer.
Okay, we're going to walk you through what I am calling Workshop Zero, where we do a quick introduction to the basic mechanics you'll need to operate the UI of SolidWorks. And Asim is going to start by sharing his screen and then walking us through how to download and install SolidWorks.
All
Sure,
right. I'll take over. Thanks,
share,
Bob.
share your screen.
Um, all right, hold on. Let me share my screen. So if you there's the channel in the server called Download SolidWorks. It'll tell you what link to go to. I just went on the link. It's the CECS link for engineering students. To get in, you just have to put in your UCF sign in. I did that already because I don't want to show you guys my sign in, obviously. But if you come down here, you'll see an option that says download SolidWorks right here, and then it'll tell you where the instructions are. You can just read the instructions if you want. But this is a video walkthrough, so I'll tell you guys how to do it. Obviously, understand accept the terms and conditions. Right here, you'll see lessons key. This is important, so you're gonna have to want to copy this somewhere. I like to Control C it. You put it in a notes page or whatever. It's up to you. Control C this. Then you want to go to their website, so solidworks.com/sec. Go there right now. Copy. I'm gonna put this here and go to the website. Here we go. I don't accept that. Sure, why not? Just put your information, first name, last name. I'll just put my first name and my last name. And then here you put your UCF ID, I mean UCF email. So mine is whatever that is. And then you put is either your student because you're a student. You want to say that yes, you have a serial number, so click yes here, and then you want to download the 2022 version, so this one right here. We're going to request download. It's going to say also going to give you a message. Just press specific continue, and then press download. Then it will download. It'll download the setup file, so the exe file. You click that. Yeah, my bad. Okay, there you go. So you see this. You see extractor. So you want to just put this wherever you want. I'm just gonna leave it here for now. You want to unzip this. So it's gonna unzip. And you're gonna press OK. Then you're gonna get this prompt. Windows reboot is pending from previous installation. Some components. This is just showing because I already have it installed, so I'm just gonna continue installation. It's just for show. Install on this computer. Yep. And then it'll tell you to put in the license key that you downloaded. And obviously you're gonna just want to, and then and then there you go. Now you click next. It should be connecting you, SolidWorks. This is good. And then there'll be a bunch of stuff with like what products you want to download. For this, you don't want to download all of this. You only want to download. You want to unclick this. You want to unclick this. Unclick this. So you only want to download two things. The SolidWorks, this part right here, the 7 GB one,
hmm
and eDrawings as well. Everything else you don't really need.
You
I'm just
can
gonna take
install
that
them,
off.
but you don't need them.
You could install, yeah, exactly. You can install them, but for this specific thing, you
Specifically,
really don't need them.
flow simulation is useful in the second level SolidWorks course that the school offers, but for our course, we don't actually need any of these. So, other than
Yeah.
just the two that he mentioned. So,
So there you go. There's a two. And then download options. I mean, it's just going to tell you you're downloading in your C drive, whatever.
mhm.
So location, obviously, it's going to say there. Set the terms, and then you install. And there you go. Now it's going to install. It's going to take a while depending on how good your computer is.
Mhm.
For me, it says 30 minutes because I have a laptop. But just give it a time. It'll download, and then it will work.
Mhm.
So there you
All
go.
right,
That's
cool,
all it
awesome.
works.
Thank you, Asim, for helping me with
No
that.
problem.
I haven't done that in like 4 years, and I didn't feel like learning it. So, appreciate Asim for running
Yeah,
us back through that. Um,
I got you.
all right, so.
And like I said before, there's instructions on the obviously on this channel and also on the
Mhm,
CECS page.
mhm.
So if you just want to look at that, you could do that as well. So there you go.
Awesome. All right, cool. So, assuming that you now have SolidWorks downloaded and installed, This is going to be the video version of Workshop Zero, so you should be able to pause this and come back to it whenever you can, depending on how long it takes you to download and install your SolidWorks. I'm going to now start with teaching you how to open SolidWorks. Here, let's try it here. This is actually, yeah, that's better to do it here. This is where it'll launch from when we actually get into the labs. Just want standard SolidWorks Student Edition, not Composer version or whatever, or RX 2022 or something. You don't want whatever that is. Here we go. Let's pull that back up. All right, so you launch SolidWorks, you'll get this screen with a bunch of crap if you've already opened SolidWorks before, but if not, there should be nothing here. Anyways, we're going to start with just creating a part file that's like the most standard thing that we do for SolidWorks. And I'm going to teach you all of this in half view like that, because to be honest, that's how you do most of your work. You'll have your draft pulled up on one side and your workspace on the other. So congratulations, you opened a SolidWorks part file. First thing you do is you check the units. So for here, we're in millimeters grams second. I'm going to pretend that we're supposed to be in inches pound second. So here we are. I just changed it to inches pound second. And now I'm going to pretend we need to change it back to millimeters gram second. It's that easy. You just go down here, you click that. You have to do this at the beginning though, because if you build your part and then you change your units, it's not going to automatically adjust all the numbers that you set. Like it's not going to set any dimensions that you've set to 3 millimeters to 3 inches. It'll just convert it from millimeters to inches. So if it's 3 millimeters, it'll be like 0.07 inches or whatever. I don't know that conversion in my head. And it'll be a big pain in the ass having to redo every single dimension that you've placed. So make sure, check whatever you're trying to do first and change your units to be the appropriate unit for the part that you're making. Cool, so we have our unit set up. This part you can ignore. I'm just going to click not now. It doesn't actually do anything, whatever. I'm now going to go over the planes of origin. So here you have this design space. You have an origin point here, which is just that's 0, 0. We don't really need coordinates for the most part in this, but it still keeps track of your origin. This tells you the directions, y, z, x. And then these three are the planes. We've got the front plane, the top plane, and the right plane. That makes sense. The front is when you're looking at the front of an object. The top is when you're looking at the top. The right is when you're looking at the right of an object. And you can use these planes for different tools in the program. So there will be points in time where we will say like you might need to bind something to a plane or like bind it to the origin. You can access them directly from this tree here, and you can also like view these planes for whatever reason from this tree. So we're going to start with creating a sketch, which is usually the first thing you do in SolidWorks. So you go up here on this tab, Sketch tab, click on the Sketch tool in the Sketch tab to enter sketch mode. Whoa, look, a lot of sketches. And you can pick any of these planes to create the sketch on. So right, top, front. I'm going to sketch on the top plane. And I'm going to pull up the part that we are going to be making. Let's see, Officer General. There we go. So we're gonna make a Lego brick today, real quick. So this is the part we're gonna be making. A lot of people have confusion as to how to read these, especially when they're just starting in CAD, how to read these. We call them drafts. They basically tell you the dimensions of the part. So if you look here, you will see a bunch of lines and numbers coming out from them. So if you see these lines here have an arrow between them and the number 5.0, that is telling me or telling you that the distance between these two lines is 5. It's assumed to be in millimeters for this exercise. Also, even though this number does not fit between these two lines, it's still attached to the arrow. That's telling you that the distance between those two lines, aka the very top of this Lego stud versus the flat face underneath it, is 1 millimeter. This circle with a slash through it is telling you diameter. If it says R, it's referring to radius. Another one you might see is degrees for angle. For the most part, that's all you see. Something we'll get into later is TYP. I don't know what it stands for, but it just means that that dimension is repeated for everything that looks similar. So we're going to start on this sketch, and we're just going to create a rectangle centered at origin. Um, it does not have to be centered at origin. Let me make that clear. Ta-da, whoopee, we did a rectangle. Um, and I'm going to go straight to extruding it. And I'm going to extrude it whatever the default is. Sounds good. Awesome. Great. And then I go back and look at my drawing and I realize, wait a second, I didn't do this right. This should be properly dimensioned. So I need to go back and change or edit what I've done. So if I drop down this arrow, it allows me access to the first sketch. I can right click on that and click this button at the top that says Edit Sketch when you hover over it. And now you can re-enter that same sketch that you've already been into. And you can use the Smart Dimension tool to add the dimensions that you wanted. So this says 85.6. What we want it to say is 5. Ta-da! And we want this length to also be 5. So this dimension tool allows you to click on lines or click on two reference points. For example, if I delete this one, if I delete this one, I can use this dimension tool to set the distance between this point and this point, which is the same thing as setting the distance of this line. Ta-da! And now that I've changed that, when I exit the sketch, or when I click the check mark or exit sketch, it adjusts what has already been made to the dimensions that we had. Now, look, it's way too tall, because if you recall, the default extrusion was 10 millimeters. We need it to be 5 millimeters tall. So if you go over to the Boss Extrude, you can right-click on it as well and edit the entire feature as well. Same position as when you clicked on the sketch. You click on that, and now you can change how far it's been extruded. So we're going to change that extrusion to be 5 millimeters. Ta-da! We did it. Whoopee. All right. So we now have a part. Whoopee. Yay. We know how to sketch. We know how to extrude. We know how to edit our sketch, and we know how to edit our extrudes. Next up, I'm going to teach you how to rotate and move this part around. So to zoom in on it, you can use your middle mouse scroll wheel and zoom out, same thing. For some reason, they're inverted from whatever you think is intuitive. Intuitively, I think you'd think, yeah, moving it forward is zooming in and moving it out. It's the opposite. I'm not sure why. If you want to rotate your part, you can press down on middle scroll wheel and move your mouse, and it'll allow you to rotate your part. Fortunately for us, it's a cube, so it doesn't matter how much you mess up its rotation. It's a cube. If you want to snap to a specific view, you can press spacebar, and you have access to all of these different views. So you have any of these faces. This is isometric view. This is an edge-aligned view. This is a face-aligned view. I always prefer these ones because that gives me a good sense of the three-dimensionality of the part that we're making. But if you press spacebar, it's an easy way to snap to a different view. You can't really tell because it's a cube, but I'm going to orient it real quick properly. Y on top, Z on the side, X on the other side. Press spacebar and make sure it's realigned. All right. So now we have this cube. I am now going to show you an important thing that will come in later in the course, how to tell the difference between whether your cursor is over a flat plane or a face, if it's over an edge or a point or a vertex. So if you hover your cursor over your part, you'll see it'll highlight the thing that you're hovering over. So I'm hovering over this top face, and there's a orange highlight around the edge. And you'll also notice there's a little square right to the bottom right of my cursor. That shows me that I'm hovering over a face. So if I select that, it selects the whole face. If I hover over a line, you'll notice it'll change from a square to a line. That tells me I'm selecting an edge, and thus the edge is highlighted instead of the entire face. See, it gets, you click on it, it turns blue. And if you hover over a vertex or a point, it'll highlight the little dot, and next to your cursor is a little blue dot, which tells you that you're currently selecting a dot. That will be useful to tell when you're clicking on the correct thing or not when we get later in the course. Um, let's see. Next up, um, reference geometry uh, and how to read selection boxes. Okay, so let's see. Reference geometry is something we'll use later. Up in this top tab, you can click on reference geometry. It's just under the features tab all the way over to the right. I know my right from left. I'm so good at this. And you can add various other things. So, for example, you can add a plane. Um, and this is just going to be a basic introduction to how to read these text boxes. So, a lot of times when you're using certain tools in SolidWorks, it'll give you these boxes that are white and turn blue when you select them. And when you click on something, it'll add something to it. Uh, so if I were to click on that face and the face underneath, for reference geometry, which we'll get more in depth into later, it's going to add a midplane between those two planes. But the important thing is that it says in the reference box what has been selected. So if you click on this, it highlights, see how this top plane is highlighted in blue, and this bottom plane gets highlighted in pink when we select it. That explains to you what is in this reference box. So you can use that to troubleshoot when you are doing a problem and things aren't working out properly. Click on your reference boxes and see if you have selected the right thing. You can right click on this and delete it, and it takes out whatever was in this reference box. Sometimes you can put too much in one box, and oh no, it causes issues. You don't have to completely start over from scratch. You can just right click on where it says face 3, that's not supposed to be there, and delete it. Um, you don't have to completely start from scratch. So ta-da, I made a plane in the middle of my part. We'll teach you other reference geometries later. You can add axes to your parts. You can make your planes bigger, smaller. You can make them. You can hide them so you can't see them. Uh, that doesn't quite matter right now though. Right, and then okay, last thing, we're gonna finish making this Lego brick. Um, real quick before I end the video. So I'm going to press spacebar, realign my beautiful drawing or my beautiful part. You can click sketch and then sketch again, and this time your planes don't appear. If you would still like to sketch on them, you have the option to by dropping down here and selecting them from here. However, you can also select directly on the face of the part. So after your first sketch, after your first extrusion, you can start sketching directly onto your part instead of having to just sketch on one of the origin planes. So I'm going to draw the little circle on the top. Um, will be clicked on the top, started a sketch on the top. I'm going to click circle, center it on the origin, draw it out any amount, and I'm going to dimension tool it again. It's supposed to be 3.5. Ta-da. And now I can go to features, extrude, boss base, 1, check mark. And I'm going to skip, for the purposes of this, the cutout on the bottom because we shouldn't need it. Good. Thumbs up. So now we've made a basic Lego brick, and I've taught you how to rotate it, zoom in, move it, select different parts of it, all sorts of stuff. Anything I should add, Asim? Or do you think we're good?
Honestly, it's pretty good. I was eating popcorn the entire freaking video, man. That was good.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
If I went a little fast, that's all right. You can pause and go back. But this is for the people who have absolutely no experience with SolidWorks or almost any CAD at all to get a basic understanding of how to actually use the software. So we don't get too many questions when we first start Workshop 1 because we are going to be getting straight into basically making little simple parts. So awesome.
One thing I do want to add. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Are you saying
I'm
something?
good. What's up?
If you have it downloaded, like the way I showed you, definitely go around and mess around with it. Go make something,
Mm,
make some things here and there just for little practice
yeah,
reasons, to get familiar with whatever.
yeah.
And also, once you do install it, I didn't show this yet because obviously I haven't installed already. But there'll be another prompt. It'll say install now. You want to press install now. You have to input your email one more time to for activation purposes. You put that email in, and then you should be good to go. Just want to add that in just to clear that up real quick.
Okay,
But other than that, that should be good.
cool. Uh, Sounds good. Yeah, and I definitely recommend just honestly playing around with it. Just press all the buttons. You might start learning how to use the tools before we even teach them, and then that becomes really helpful when you're trying to learn them for the first time, for the second time. Um, so you can play around with any of these buttons. You can't really break SolidWorks that much. I don't want to say that. You can change settings if you don't know how to change them back.
You
But
could
for the most
try.
part, for the most part, if you stick to like these tools, these little cute little widgets, you can just try and see what they do and mess around with them. Just to get a little bit familiar with the software, get used to like selecting edges, selecting faces, and whatnot. And yeah, so good. We will see you in workshop 1.